baby. This week we have a wild one for you.
That's right. We have the one and only Curly Velasquez on the show with us today. We talk about career. We talk about Buzzfeed. We talk about the evolution of identity.
And we talk about foreskin. So please enjoy this episode. You almost forgot.
I did almost forgot. I was thinking about hairy butt sitting on a sink.
Oh.
Mom!
When your first choice is a big old bus,
You turn around and boom, you end up with a sloppy seconds. Oh, diva. Our number is 213-536-9180. Our email is sloppysecondspot@gmail.com. Now on with the show. Hi, you sloppy, you stupid little fucks, you nasty little fucks, you dirty little fucks, you stupid little fucks. Welcome to Sloppy Seconds with Big Dipper and Meatball. I'm Meatball, and that's Big Dipper.
Hello, we are back in the studio. Can you believe it?
It's been too long that we haven't been here, and we've been really pissing off our listeners.
Yes, so here we are back in, what do they call it? Technicolor?
Sure.
On
Yeah.
theme.
Oh, we're matching colors.
That's right. We're here on video, back in the studio.
I just took a terrible, terrible energy drink shot that tastes like grape, and it's like sitting in the back of my throat.
But you're supposed to shoot it like a shot.
Yeah, but I think you're supposed to mix it with alcohol or something, because that was gross.
I raw
Do
dog
you
those.
remember the original Four Locos? One time I drank 2 of those, fell out of an elevator, 2 floors, fell asleep.
Wait,
Gates open, door open. It was like down.
were you in New York City?
I was living in New York City, and then I fell asleep on the street corner on like First and A.
Meatball.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the street corner, and my friends came and found me.
Were you injured?
No, I was fine.
You fell out of the elevator?
Out of an elevator, 2 floors.
Baby, I fell out.
Loft elevator in Lower East Side. Had to crawl. Anyway, what a wonderful time.
Well, listen, we have a special guest today. We're very excited to talk with them.
That
so-
energy drink has kicked!
You're up in a different way.
Yes, mama.
Oh, I'm up!
I'm up. Please welcome.
Queer creator, influencer, lover of papusas, it's Curly Velasquez!
Ow, 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 ow.
When you were like, my energy kicked, I was like, chugging mine. I'm like, I want that energy too, shit.
It really did just work so fast. I could feel it burning in my tummy. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Thank you for
Good.
being here.
Thank you for having me. I was saying thank you so much over and over and over. Like, I'm truly honored to be here with y'all. It's so much fun.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh.
We're honored to have you here.
Yes.
No, I'm like, I love seeing like other queer folk like doing the thing. And I'm always like, I want to
Queer.
play.
Queer.
Straight rights.
Yes, and I'm a woman.
Straight to the-
Oh, so there are no queer women? Oh, so it's queer female
Oh, no, no, no.
erasure?
Oh, no, 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 no. It's
No,
too
no,
early
no,
to get
no.
canceled.
I love it so and I always want to play. So I'm like, I want to come play. So thank you for having me and letting me
Well,
play with y'all.
Thanks for coming and playing with us.
Did y'all match on purpose?
A little bit.
Sure, I brought 2 t-shirts.
This was a birthday gift that I feel like I love.
What
And
part
I've
of
been-
it was a birthday gift?
Oh, just this.
Oh, nice.
It came stoned? Cheyenne.
No, Cheyenne. It's a vintage caftan that she stoned for
Beautiful.
me. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, she stoned that for you?
Yeah, baby.
Holy shit, that is a lot of work.
Yes,
She-
good
yeah.
friends.
She's very fun, and she's crafty.
Wow, is that glue gun stoning or is that
I
like
think it's E6000.
wow?
E6000?
Now
It
you,
smells like cement.
speaking of E6000, you were mentioning the last time you saw Meatball was at the pageant.
I saw you at the
There's a
pageant.
whole lot of
Oh, yes, you
E6000
were
up
there.
on
Oh,
that
yes.
stage.
You could smell it in
Really?
the dressing room. Yeah. Like I pulled my stuff out and I was like, oh, it's fresh. Oh, it just came.
That pageant
But
was intense.
some of my stuff was literally being stoned. Like I got to the pageant and like my dress and the Kool-Aid man arrived like right before I was going on stage.
Wow.
Because
it was
like my
intense.
friends were at my house stoning it. I had like people dancing at my house right as I left.
Had you been to a pageant before, a drag pageant?
I've been to years ago. I hosted, and in hindsight, it's like I shouldn't have hosted it, but they asked me to host a trans pageant,
Uh-huh.
and it was long, intense, and like
Always long.
because the pageants just in general are really
yeah.
long and intense. So when my friend was like, let's go check it out, I was like, it's like a 6 hour, 7 hour
yeah.
commitment. We're gonna be there for a minute.
But I think this one was way faster.
This
I don't
one-
remember because I was in it.
This one was faster. It came in under 3 hours, which was
Y'all
really
felt
impressive.
y'all felt that was faster.
It was
Well,
faster than 6 hours.
The first one was like 4 or 5
I think they had
hours.
to get kicked. They were kicked out by like
Yeah.
11 or something like that.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little bit like because people have to come out and we have to see their first looks,
Uh-huh.
and then you have to hear their like answer their
Their
questions,
Q&A.
and then there's like other looks or something.
What was it? Presentation,
Q&A.
Q&A,
Talent. Evening gown.
evening gown.
And
a lot
of
It's
other
two sections where
pageants-
it's just looks.
But that's like 27 people, so you got to see all those 4 things for 35 people, and then you're like, God damn, I've been here for 4 hours.
Did they do like full interview for the one that you hosted?
I don't remember. I just remember that I went home and cried.
no!
Well, look, I shouldn't have been
Because
there.
of the beauty?
Well, the beauty was amazing. The writer that wrote it was adding a lot of jokes that I don't joke in that way. I'm not like a type of person that talks shit. I'm more of like a troll. Like I'll tease you. Like
Ah.
earlier when you were like, you said clothes, you went clothes, and then you said, oh, the shot is stuck in my throat, and I was like, in my head, I would have imitated you back. But like I would never make fun of anybody, so I
Okay.
wasn't the right fit for the show. I don't think.
Well, don't hold anything against her because
No,
she's
'cause
about to
I'll-
make fun of a
I'll-
lot of people.
Yeah.
oh my
But
god.
usually never our guest.
No, not to their face.
No.
When people do it, I'm always giggling in the back. I like when people do it, but I feel really terrible when I do it. I'm like, oh no, I
Yeah,
said something
you
really
seem
bad.
like
and-
a sweet.
Yeah, you're like a
person.
nice,
Thank
genuine
you.
human
But I will
being.
absolutely troll and be like, play with you a little bit.
How's your summer going?
Yeah.
It's summer
Going-
of monkeypox.
Oh my God, monkeypox summer.
It's
You
scary.
vaccinated?
Not yet. How about you? I don't really leave my house. I don't really go to
I know,
bars.
really.
And we were talking about sex earlier. So I'm sober like 7 years. And so when I went I used to be a big ass hoe in my 20s. And then when I went
Okay.
sober, I only started to have sex with whoever I was dating. So in the
Ooh.
7 years that I've been sober, I've only had 4 partners because I've only had 4 boyfriends.
So you've
So
only had sex 4 times.
Don't
so
do
I'm kind
her
of
like
like
that.
technically.
Oh, because each time you
Each
date,
time
it's
it's
just
like, we're
one
done.
long sexual experience.
You're like, let's
Exactly.
date. Okay.
We've been fucking for 6 months. It's one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Exactly.
that math.
So no, I'm gonna go, but maybe
You're
this
not-
is wrong.
yeah.
But I'm like, I don't really go out to places where there's a lot of people, and I'm not having sex with a lot of different people, so I don't know. I could be wrong, and I could get dragged for that. But that's
No, I don't think you're wrong at
No, I
all.
don't think
Every
you're wrong at all.
conversation we've had with people, it's about exposure and harm reduction. So it's folks
Mhm.
who are like, I know that they even did a specific vaccination site for sex workers who are at highest risk
Mm-hmm.
in order to like accommodate people's lifestyle.
Full service sex workers.
Yes, that's right.
FSSW. I didn't know that was a thing. I had
Is
to
that
look
what
it
it's
up
called?
yet. Yeah, Ramona Slick, who was also in the pageant,
Mhm.
posted that because she is a woman.
Oh, and she went to
And
try to
she
get
was
the
trying to
vaccine.
get the vaccine, but because she's a woman, they were like, and she was like, well, I'm a full service sex worker. I have sex with strangers, basically.
Full service sex worker.
Yeah, she had a
FSSW. What did I
sex-
say?
You had a whole bunch. You said it's a F A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q.
LGBTQ.
Full service sex worker. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn something new.
Do you know
Here?
Do you have?
Yeah, here.
Oh no.
Educational?
Here
Oh,
at Sloppy
somehow we're
Seconds.
educational.
I love that.
Oh, so what have you been up to this summer besides not leaving your house?
Playing with your pitbull?
I'm with family all the time. I'm with my grandmother. That's kind of like the thing that people have been hitting me up a lot about. It's like for 10 years I've been recording my conversations with my abuelita, and
Gladys?
Gladys, and she's always been really vulgar, but now that she has dementia, she's a little bit more vulgar.
Ooh.
So people have been catching on to like our conversations a little bit more. So I've been hanging with her. I've been trying to stay out of trouble, and then just working, like trying to like level up. You know, that's the thing. Like,
Oh my god.
That is the thing.
you're like,
Well, as you
It's
get
hard.
older, as you get older, and especially in this town, it's
Yeah.
like you have to focus on that level up because
absolutely,
it's not just going to happen for you.
It doesn't happen.
And you need to do it in order to continue to survive. Like,
And I love it. I'm a Scorpio moon, so I feel like Scorpio moons were always like transforming, and we like. What are y'all signs, by the way?
I don't know.
When are your
I mean, I know
birthdays?
what
I'm
my
a
big
can-
sign
What's-
is.
I'm a
what's your
Aries.
big one?
I'm an Aries.
I love Aries and Cancers. Cancers fucking love to date me. They love like a good
Ooh.
little sweet.
Oh no, I moved the whole table.
Yeah, you
They
sure
love a
did.
good sweet little damaged Virgo.
Ooh,
Because
Oh, so you're here for
No, I
Virgo's
think I
groove.
prefer people whose lives are like put together.
we're put together enough
Okay.
for a Cancer.
Something we said triggered Siri.
Why is your Siri a dude?
Yeah, when does your series become a dude?
Wait,
I'm
you.
not sure I understand.
Hey Siri, why you a dude?
I don't have an answer for that. Is
Exactly.
there something
No.
else I can help with?
Gender is a construct.
Safe space.
Tear it
Built
apart.
here.
Yes. And I love that you're an Aries too, by the way. Aries to me smell like spiritual cologne. Like, okay. And whenever an Aries walks into the room, I'm like, I can smell them. I'm like, what are you?
What?
They just have this
Yeah,
energy
she's been
about
trying
them.
to get me to wear deodorant for years.
Do you not wear deodorant?
No, he's a stinky boy.
How are you living? Okay, wait. Can we talk about that really
What do you
fast?
mean?
Yes, let's talk about it, please.
What?
We've had this conversation a few times. Okay, he doesn't smell bad.
Are you
in the-
comfortable talking about it? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
well, I'm
Okay,
about to
We
okay.
drag
talk about it all the time.
He doesn't smell
She
bad
said, "Gear up! I'm about to drag him."
because he'll shower in the morning. He knows when he's going to an event or something to start smelling good. You don't want to start already showing up sweaty.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that the issue is that like throughout the evening you can like build up a little bit of a scent, and that's usually okay,
That's
and it's
normal.
not bad.
Yes.
But it's the people that have built up a scent from being out all day or going to
Yes.
the gym or doing something, and then they decide to change clothes and just go straight out to the nightclub.
into the world. Yes.
Yeah,
That's what I cannot comprehend.
I
Because you're
don't-
starting stinky, and
Yes.
then you're just gonna build more stink on it.
What kind of stink is it though? Is it like armpit stink? Is it like ball stink? Is
All
it
of them.
booty stink?
yeah. No, but she's not talking about me.
Oh, okay.
Us-
I'm trying to make this clear.
Oh no, he's fine because he showers before he goes up.
I
But I'm
don't-
talking about like a go-go boy that has been stinky all day and then shows up. And
You're
then,
clearly
like,
talking about a specific person,
No, I'm
so
not.
name names.
no, I'm not.
So name
no, I'm
names.
not. I'm talking about any go-go boys.
We know she's
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
a
any
specific-
go-go boys.
Yeah.
Name.
And your
Say their name.
nose level with their butthole and their
Yes.
crotch. If they haven't showered, all you're smelling is rank.
Yes.
Doo-doo
booty
flex.
hole.
Absolutely. Well, I grew up in a household where it was like a big thing that if you smelled even like a damp towel, my sister and my mom, my abuelita, would drag you. It was like,
Mm.
have you been using the same towel for more than like 4 times, 5 times?
Mhm.
And we pick it up. So I don't know if it's like a cultural thing, but I can pick up smells so bad.
I think it is because I'm the same way, and I'm about to bring out my boyfriend. I'll take a whiff of his towel and be like, it's time to change. Like I will do him the favor because he doesn't know.
Listen. I feel like we're skirting around the
'Cause
issue
this
where
is
you're
the
trying
thing,
to make it sound like it's me. It's not me.
You're not the booty stand.
I know. I don't. I change my towel very often.
But when he was a kid, his mom used to not dry his clothes in time. And
she
they
would like
get
leave them
mildewy.
in the washer,
Uh-huh.
and then I would go to school and I smelled like mildew.
How do you know that?
Because I've told it on the
We
Oh,
bring
podcast.
out-
okay,
I
okay,
talk
okay.
a lot about people.
We've done
smell.
nearly
I'm very
300
concerned.
episodes of this
Of
podcast.
smell. Oh my god, that
So
is.
we've told all the same
But I
stories.
hugged you. You didn't smell bad.
No,
No,
he's
this is
fine
what
now.
I'm saying is that I don't wear deodorant because I have really sensitive skin. So I break out with detergent, I break out with everything. So I've
Okay.
tried the crystal
He's breaking out because of this
deodorants.
conversation.
I've tried everything.
Have you put lemon before?
Not just lemon.
It's
no.
a lot of Latin people are like, put limon, ponte limon.
Wait,
Just straight off of the fruit. Just like
Lemon.
squeeze a little
Try
juice.
it. My mom,
Yeah.
left and right, would be like, put lemon. My grandma would be like, put lemon. I don't know if it's like,
The
try
thing
it.
is, to me,
try it. Have you tried
I've-
those crystals? That you get
yes,
wet?
I
Okay.
just said that. To
I
me,
think lemon is
Let
probably
me-
good
can I
because
just
it's like a
fucking say
Silkwood
what-
shower. Because you remember in that movie Silkwood, the only way to get the smell off would be to shower and then rub like cut lemons on your skin.
all I'm saying is I have never gotten to the point that you're describing. My smell has never like exceeded because I always get in the shower.
Yes.
But people love that smell too. Like people really like if you go to like bear bars or stuff
Yeah,
like that. Like
yeah.
people enjoy that smell. I'm
Yeah.
very much like
I
It-
hate cologne.
really.
Hate
I
it.
love it.
What
I
kind
like
of cologne? though?
Any kind of cologne that you can smell more than 2 feet off of somebody.
Yeah.
I'm
Can
like,
you smell
throw it
my
out the
cologne?
window. No.
No, yours is very faint. You're wearing it correctly.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have a really faint cologne on right now.
I like if you smell like a
there's so-
chemical, I want to literally trip you.
But like, I'm okay if someone's wearing a bit like like if you can smell them first. I'm okay with that.
I love it. Yeah.
Right.
But
that
like,
shit.
if it's too strong, if you're talking to them and it like consumes the area that you're in, it's like no, I can't do it.
I start
But
to
also,
cough.
the other day, my cat just knocked over a bottle of cologne and it shattered all over our bathroom, and
Oh,
the whole
I would
upstairs of
move.
my house has just smelled like Prada
I
Men.
loved it.
and it smells so good.
I love it.
I
like
literally was
there.
like, I would love
that.
my house to smell like this all the time.
would
I
move.
love like I'm the type of person who I have like a bunch of Glade little what are they called little Glade
Plugins?
plugins all over the apartment. I have room spray for everything. I'm constantly burning a candle. I could like put little pockets of scent in my closet, like everything. I
You
just
can.
love. I love to smell things. If I could like keep up with it, is what I mean. It's a lot of work, you know.
That
But I
sounds
feel like
great.
you would have a headache if you came over.
Probably. We'll just have to hang out in a park.
out in a park. I love that.
Okay. A grassy smell. Bring the dog.
Yeah.
Bring the dog.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
And we're back.
So a lot of people know you because you've been on the internet for damn near a decade, if not
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
You got your start at BuzzFeed.
Yes. So,
Okay.
well,
go ahead.
basically, I always tell
All I
people-
did was lead in the question. I didn't even
Well, I
ask
had to
you.
answer
What
this
is your
a lot.
question? What is your question?
Well, you were part of a group of people that I feel like, at least for the millennial, or isn't there like some cusp term for a Gen Z millennial? Anyways, you were part of a group of people that sort of shaped what it meant to
Yes.
be an internet personality.
Mm.
Not necessarily an influencer, but an internet personality.
Absolutely.
It was pre-influencer.
Yeah.
It was pre-influencer. Mm-hmm.
And it was more
And it's also
content
crazy-
and
Oh, yeah, it was-
opinion driven, like
Mhm.
editorializing, than it was like taking pictures on Instagram and hawking product.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also, it was insane that you started as like the secretary at
I was
BuzzFeed.
hired as a receptionist, but there were no
Reception.
phones. Yeah. So,
No.
so they would put me in the canteen
So you were just
in the
pretending?
kitchen. No, they would put me in the canteen in the kitchen. They were like, handle the snacks. I would stock their snacks,
Love
and
it.
then on lunch days I would serve their lunches, and that's how I started. So
And
like,
that was also a revolutionary idea because that was in that time period when it was like, if you work for a hip, young startup internet
Oh,
company,
yeah. We'll
they
feed
feed
you.
you, which like
Absolutely.
never
We'll give
used
you
to be part
breakfast.
of working.
which was great if you were like one part of the people that were working, but when you're stocking it or you're serving it, I'm like, yes, of course we have. At one point I think I counted like 84, 90 different types of snacks that I was stocking, and if we were out of one, people would
Meatball's
come
like,
in.
where is the time machine?
I want to go back.
People would come in and be like, "What do you mean we're out of that?" I'm like, "Well, there's like 85 other snacks to pick from,
Oh my god.
and y'all all make more money than I do. So I think you
think
can
you're
go to the
fine."
store. You'll be okay." And I had already had a career by that point too. Like I had already worked for David LaChapelle,
Did you
Jeremy
I
Scott.
did know.
Was doing all these things, and then suddenly I found myself kind of like at the beginning of the recession, and I was there serving lunches to 20-year-olds who were like, "I just make videos for a living," and I'm like, "You guys don't fucking know what art is. You don't know shit." But I was like, there, and I had to like suck it up, and you make the best of it. By the way, I'm not being a hater. I love them all. They were
Yeah.
like my little
Sure,
babies.
sure.
But I remember the first time I ever heard the term influencer, and people were like, I remember another personality was saying, they'll give us the house for free if we promote it on our Instagram. And they were like, what? And they were like, yeah, I guess we're called like influencers or something.
Oh
and I
my
remember,
God.
I think I had like something in my hand, like sodas, and I was walking by them, and I was like, what? What is that? What are you guys talking about? By the way, all those early videos that you watch of us where all the personalities are
Yeah.
talking, I was still serving their lunches. I was not a personality. I was not somebody that was hired for that. So as soon as I was finished shooting, I would have to go back and like sort out the kitchen, get ready for their
That's
party, sweep
so
something up.
Weird, because I remember some of those early ones. They'd introduce you and were like so excited to have you in the video with them. I just felt like you were like an extra person brought in.
No,
Not
yeah.
like, oh, let's grab the receptionist.
Yeah.
He's fun. That's shit.
how I
Did they
was.
pay you extra for that, or was it?
No, we didn't get paid, but that was kind of the beauty of what we call the golden age of
Oh.
BuzzFeed, the golden era, because we literally would all look up from wherever we were sitting and be like, "Hey, can you do this and can you do that?" So you would get a mixture of all the different personalities at the office. Most of those people there had jobs. Like we
Right,
were
yeah.
there to do something for this website that we were a part of.
Making lists.
Making lists or creating content, illustrating, shooting videos, all these things, right? Or the coding. Some of those people that you saw in the videos did the actual coding. Some of those people
Whoa.
did
Wow.
yes, it was like it was a great time. It was really fun. And then once the internet started to pick up in a different way, we also started to get treated a little differently, and so things kind of changed from there.
Because you created like a vertical. Did they
A
call it a
vertical.
vertical
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
platform
Yeah.
with Paralike?
Yeah, so then eventually as things got older, like as the website grew and we started to grow, and I got moved into, I think I was only in the canteen or the kitchen for like 8 months, and I got moved over.
Upward
Um,
mobility.
Okay.
Yes.
She said, "I came here. I want my opportunity,
Yeah.
growth opportunities at the
Absolutely.
company."
They were really sweet. I was the first person to ever do that. I had no experience like shooting video or doing any of that stuff. And at the time it was like unheard of because people were
Mm.
like, I remember somebody else saying like the video department at BuzzFeed is like the Shangri-La everybody wants in. And I was like,
Ooh.
Oh, can I just like carry your equipment or something? Like, can I get in? Like, there's no.
Everyone wants in. They'll bring you puppies to play with.
Yeah. Oh my
Exactly. And I
god.
somehow got in, and I remember and I did have the support of like the everybody at the office because I was really good at my job. Like if I was
Right.
serving lunches or filling the canteen up or stocking shit, like I was really good at doing what I did because I never was like, ugh, I have to fill up this thing with.
Right.
I was like singing. I would bring my speakers. I would play Lil Kim all the time. Like I would be playing
She's
my
a
music.
rapper.
No, I know. She's Nicki Minaj's only
That's what we were talking about
yeah,
earlier.
competitor. Not Miss
I'm
Carnegie B.
the OG Queen Bee.
Yeah.
Like, contrary to what people think, Lil Kim was calling herself the Queen Bee before
Beyonce.
Beyonce was
We
doing
know.
it.
Yes.
We'll leave her out of that. She's a close friend of mine.
I think she only recently started referring to herself as the queen.
Beyonce?
Yeah, she let other people refer to her, but when did she
Mhm.
ever say queen? She said it on this album. But prior
But
to
she's
this,
literally dressed up like a queen before.
right,
so
but
Yeah.
she's never declared herself. She let the fans.
Well,
do
you
it
know what?
out of respect.
Trinity the Tuck never declared that she was She-Devil by night, but we all know it to be true.
Your little hand going into the
Oh,
camera.
sorry.
I love it. No, and then so then eventually we got moved over and we started the Latino vertical, pero like which was kind of revolutionary at the time because we were doing things that no other major Latino platform was doing.
Right.
Latina, Latinx, or whatever you identify as. We weren't. We were talking about like blackness, indigeneity within the community. We were talking about non-binary stuff, trans identity before anybody was doing it. Before even Telemundo and Univision were doing it, we were like, let's fucking make a video about it.
Yeah.
And then we had people on the roster that worked there that were part of those identities. So
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
It is so interesting because I feel like we're at this spot right now when we think about like the internet and content. Like we're of a certain age. There's a conversation about like Web 1, Web 2,
What's that?
Web 3.
is that a thing?
I don't
Like
know what
Web
that-
1 is when the internet started and it was like
Oh, the
AOL and
dial-up.
message
Okay.
boards and all that. Web 2 is sort of like what we know it to be with like
Am I Web
basic
2?
social. Yeah,
I think
and
you're
then
Web
Web
2.
3
Is
is what a
now.
lot of people are getting into. And then the people on the cutting edge are already in the Web 4, which is like the back end stuff. Like
Dark web.
yeah, and we're
You could
already
buy along on there.
we're we're already like aged out of what people like. Have you ever been around a young person using the internet and they watch you like do stuff and they're
Yeah.
like, you still type www or you do this or
Do you
that's
still
how
type
you
www?
organize your email? I mean, sometimes if I'm going to a website.
And if I'm feeling fancy, I'll put the HTTP
Colon, backslash,
backslash.
backslash.
You gotta get
But-
that in there.
I
I
mean,
know.
it feels like, you were a part of an integral like
Absolutely. We
cultural
Yeah.
piece of the internet,
were. We were.
and now other stuff is happening.
We
Do
get a
you
lot of hate for it all the time. Too.
hate?
Yeah,
Well, people will be like, "Oh, yeah," like a lot of people on TikTok right now are talking about like the Buzzfeed accent, or they're talking about like
what is that?
the
What do you mean,
millennial-
the BuzzFeed accent?
I don't know. I haven't I tried looking at it and I'm like, I know that if you hear me talk in person versus if you hear my BuzzFeed content, it's like, oh, I'll be like, hey Meatball, what's up? How are you?
Yeah.
But if you're like, I'm like, hey Meatball, what's up? Like it's like perkier.
Oh, right. But I mean, like,
That's
that's
like
the whole zhuzh.
performance. It's like if
being a
you're
performer,
hosting.
You're
So,
hosting a thing.
I hate it because I'm like, I'll hear it and I'm like, who is this person talking? I don't recognize
That's
it.
TV you.
But they'll also talk about like the millennial pause. There's a thing about
Oh,
people
yeah, I
saying
know
like
that one.
adulting. They make fun of people saying adulting. They make fun of the side part. There's all these things that like Gen Z supposedly make fun of.
They're over the skinny jeans now.
over the skinny jeans. But my whole thing is I go back to it. I think it's cultural
Yeah.
because I feel like in like black and brown culture, like we really honor our ancestors in a lot of
yeah.
ways. So like I have never dragged my tias or my cousins for like the big chola bangs or the lip liner or the thin eyebrows. I never I will look at them and be like, y'all were fucking dope in the 90s.
Yeah,
Y'all
I
were
was like,
killing
you
in the
gotta embrace
80s.
it.
And it feels like of the time. It doesn't feel like, oh, how could you like? Why would you ever look that way? You feel like that's what everyone looked like in that time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also,
That's how
Exactly.
everyone was making internet content in that time. That's how you
Exactly.
talk.
I also feel like kids are like that right now because we're making fun of them for wearing the things that we were wearing in the 90s. And
Yeah.
their only retaliation is
2000s.
like, 2000s, late 90s. Being like, well, because I was, I'm young. It's just like that's their retaliation. It's just being like, well, let's make fun of you for dressing like that. And it's like, yeah, but we already did that.
We did that already. Absolutely.
The
I mean,
lowriders.
and I
Come
think
on.
the big
These girls are out here
difference-
pussy out now. What?
I think the big difference is there's an internet record of it, and that has not happened before.
oh yeah.
When there was that like
right.
20-year generational difference between like when we were teenagers and before, it was like old photographs or magazines or
Absolutely.
like VHS movies, but now everything is a Google search away.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
people are
Oh
making
yeah, and they
there was
just
that-
discovered the simple life.
that movie.
So annoying.
There's that movie, that Hulu movie that just came out called Not Okay. That was about this girl who faked like she was in a terrorist attack,
Oh,
and she got a
right.
bunch of like internet clout.
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
I think it's set in like 2016 or 27. Like it's set just a few years ago, and they talk about it as like the costume design is so specific as like a time and a period piece.
yeah, that's
and it's
wild.
only 5 years ago.
That's wild.
Oh god.
I literally, my little nephew's like 7 years old, and I'm always like, when you get older, I need you to drag Gen Z, drag them hard, drag them for the forward bang that they do, drag them for the little Mickey Mouse dances that they're doing.
It's not
Like,
that.
it's
You know, it's the boy bang.
it's
That's
the
all
boy
the hair.
band.
Oh, with the curly and the.
Every generation will inevitably do things that will be embarrassing 10, 15 years
Yeah.
from
Oh
now.
yeah.
And so it's interesting. My thing is always like, I always joke with younger people when they're like, "You're old." I'm like, the beauty of it is that you too one day will age.
Girl.
You too one day will feel old. And I guarantee that when you get to be this age, you might not look as good as I do because I'm aging well. And anything that I
Let's talk about your
Yo,
transformation.
so what's going on
y
here?
lo que me falta, what I don't have, I'm always like, I can afford to pay for it and change it up a little bit. So
See now.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I'm
You-
like,
A little
okay.
filler here, a little
Little
Botox
filler
there,
here,
just a
yeah.
normal
you
amount.
you have made what I often see in a lot of queer people is that like daddy transition. Wow, what is your age?
I'm 34 right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Oh,
I started
okay.
partying when I was like
34.
12 years old.
Same.
Yeah. Are y'all where are y'all from?
I'm from Texas, basically.
I'm from
That has
Chicago.
okay, Chi-Town. Do people still say Chi-Town? Is that weird to say?
I don't know. I haven't
The
lived.
Chi?
I haven't.
The Chi?
I haven't lived. No, I mean
We live in the Shy.
We live in the Chi.
That's what the show
I'm
is
up
called.
Shy, Uptown Shy.
Chi is
I don't
so
I
know.
weird.
love it.
No, I haven't been there in like a decade, but that's where I grew up.
I feel like Chicago people are so dope. There's a
Yeah,
lot
they're
of people out
cool.
here in LA. The woman that gave me my first chance on a television show is a Chicago playwright. Yeah.
I know
Tanya who?
Tanya
Tanya
Saracho.
What was your first TV show?
On Vida, the
On
show
Vida.
Vida.
Season
Mhm.
2, right?
Season 2 and 3. And she hit me up on Instagram. She's like, "Do you act?" And then season 3 she brought me to the
How do you
writers' room.
respond to that?
I do, I was like, yeah, well, I act on YouTube videos, right? But I was
Yeah.
like, shit, do I tell her? So I go, yes, I act.
Yes, of course. The
You
amount
get
of
in there.
TV you watch and you're like, oh, that person is an
Yes,
actor.
you have to be.
Just
Yeah,
do it.
just say yes.
Tanya and I shared a room at a theater retreat like
Shut
15 years ago.
See,
up.
now I'd like to ask her about the smell.
I
And
love
we
her.
we were like the
15 years
youngest.
ago.
We were like the youngest people there,
I
and
love
so
that
we got
so
like real
much.
giggly and fun. I hadn't seen her in forever, and then I ran into her at a Pride. We were backstage. Kamala Harris, Pablo
Mhm,
Vittar,
mhm.
myself, Tanya.
They never
Mhm.
asked you back though.
No,
did
they didn't.
Yeah.
But no, I hadn't seen her in a long time, and she was there promoting the show.
I love her
and I
so
got to
much.
like squeeze her for a moment, and then I saw
Yes.
her briefly. We hung out, and it was right before the show happened. She told me all
Oh
about
my
it.
god,
Yeah.
I'll send her like a message that I hung out with you. I'm sure she's gonna. I'm sure you can do that too. But like,
Yeah.
She's gonna be like,
I-
who?
Yeah, she's gonna be
No.
like, who? She's a big fucking deal now.
She's a big deal.
Doesn't she have
I-
some all over deal, something like that?
She does have an all
Yeah.
out deal, yeah, and she's super amazing. Like she's one of those people who literally she does not give a fuck about your experience. If she knows you have something, she thinks you have something, she will knock down doors for you. She is about it.
And her plays, I mean, the show is amazing,
Mhm.
but her plays are like, that's like why I got into theater. Like when you see or read one of her plays, like
Wow,
so fascinating imagery,
She's
transcendent,
amazing.
like
They
really
almost
cool.
didn't let me be in the writers' room, and I was like, I love you so much. Please don't put your neck on the line for me. Like it's okay.
So what seasons did you write on?
Season 3. I was more of like a consult. I was a
Uh-huh.
consultant, so I didn't actually write, but I would like pitch ideas because I
Yeah.
wasn't allowed to like write. I was
Ooh.
like I could pitch ideas, and so she was like, I was like, it's okay. Like you don't have to do that. I love you. Thank you for trying. It's okay. And she's like, I said what I said. I'll see you on Monday.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And I was
love
like,
that.
Well,
I love
also
her.
that's the
It's
way to
her
throw
show, yeah.
throw your weight around as a show creator and an EP and a whatever. You're like, I'm
Absolutely.
doing what I'm doing, and we need this
Yeah.
person in the room.
And I mean, like, I was born and raised in LA. Like, I started going in LA. We had these huge gay clubs that were predominantly black and brown called the Arena and Circus in Hollywood back in
I've
the
heard
day.
of them.
I started going when I was 12, 13 years
How
old.
do you get into a club when you're 13?
It used to be all ages, and then when it
Wow.
became 18 and over, you just kept your head down and you walked in. They would let you in. They wouldn't.
It's like Tiger Heat.
Well,
That's where Tiger Heat used to be.
you
They
put
used to be
all
at the
your-
arena.
Oh, okay.
put your curly hair in front of your face. And
I
just
mean,
walk
we
around.
all-
Yeah, you
we-
did go through a hair transfer.
We were all doing the Daddy Yankee haircut at the time, so we all had the Caesar haircut. All the
I
Latino
love the
boys.
Caesar.
I love a
We all
Caesar.
had the fade. We had the thin sideburns, or the sideburns that would go like down your chin,
Chin
and
strap.
kind
Oh
of
my
the chin strap.
gosh.
Yeah. So, and I feel like, to answer your question as far as like the daddy phase, like
Oh, yeah.
I've been like transforming my entire life. Like I have a Scorpio moon, we talked about earlier. So we love to transform, we love to change it up. And so I feel like I've done the giant hats, I've done the big glasses, the gaudy jewelry, the loud clothes, and now I'm like a little bit more like, my dream is to just wake up with like coffee in my mug and go get the paper in front of a house that I bought and just be a silver daddy.
Well,
Ugh,
this
Yeah.
okay. This is
that's perfect.
I find this is an interesting conversation because I think it happens in a lot of queer identities.
Yeah.
Where when you're younger, how do you feel about the shot?
just
Okay.
I'm here.
Where when you're younger, there's a lot more flamboyant dressing, a
Yeah.
lot more like I don't know.
I feel the opposite. I feel like I was like told to like tone it down, no gay shit in this house, like stuff like that. And then when I like got away from it, when I started to experiment with it.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you feel like you were when you were a child flamboyant?
Yeah,
Was it The Wizard of Oz that really did it for you?
when I played the lion
When
or
you played
watching the movie.
Yeah, watching the movie or the lion.
Well, also, what was like your like version of flamboyant?
Yeah,
Like,
because now look at you.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I'm like not a fashionable person. I wear a t-shirt
What? You
and
look
shorts
cute.
every single day
So
of my
young,
life.
though, I
That's
know.
all I do. It's the face that's fashion. That's all that it is.
I was doing like makeup, like looks, like bringing the looks, and I mean, I was in La Chapelle land too, and
Yeah.
Jeremy Scott world, so we were like bringing the looks all the time. I remember my family, like we're a Central American family that came over undocumented, settled in Hollywood. There's a lot of misogyny and machismo in our culture and in our family, but I used to push back. I also was like, I don't give a fuck. I became obsessed with Spice Girl memoirs when I was 14,
Oh my
15.
God.
And they talk about girl power. And I took that on at a very young age about like, you know what? Gay power, fag power. Like I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
And so I would like I hit it really hard. I hit the queer identity really hard at a really young age.
And this, I feel like
I
I
love
feel
that
like
Spice
I've
Girls was your stepping stone. Me too.
Yeah.
I was living in the UK when they were at their peak, so anytime we went out or did
Shut
anything, I
up.
would get like Spice Girl stuff because it was literally
Where is it?
everywhere.
Does
Lucky.
Nikki have it? In
It's
a-
all at my house, but I have like the
temperature
full
controlled?
Barbie dolls. No, it's just all in Rubbermaid bins. I have so many posters. I have the Barbie dolls. They had a bust set after the movie came out. I have that. I have like so much Spice.
You should
World
have a Spice
memorabilia.
Girls room in your house.
I should have it all here, and we should put it in the.
Who's your
trophy room.
favorite? Who's your
Scary Spice.
Mine too.
I always thought she was the lead.
Me too.
It took all my friends being like, "No, it's Jerry. She left." When Jerry left, I was like, "Great, more space for Scary."
Yeah,
Like
and
I
then-
did not understand.
And then decades later, we all realized it was Sporty who was actually
actually, the lead.
That's so
She was
funny.
the only one with the best voice,
She
She had the
sang it
best
all.
voice.
and she's outsold all of them on her solo
Yeah,
careers.
she
I saw
has.
that
Yeah.
recently.
You know, Scary used to do all of their choreography. She was the choreographer.
Really?
Yeah. So when you watch it, you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's Scary's like, step one, ladies. When I say
like-
go, we go. Go.
But when
Oh
you
my
say
God.
choreography, you mean like walking formations, right? They
I
didn't
mean,
really dance.
yeah, they
If-
did a lot of like.
To be honest, if you go back to watch Scary, it's
She's
cute.
moving.
It's
Yeah.
cute. It's like
she does
well,
the
because
kick.
she
Because
always
they-
gets, yeah, she
ah.
always gets a runway moment in every song too.
Scary has this whole like shoulder thing and this kind of a
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nail
when
thing.
she
Oh
sang,
yeah, with well, shoulder bouncing was really big at that time.
when
Whether
two
you would
become
come
one.
yeah.
Somebody like
I do
never
wanna-
did alive before.
I feel like I have a point here that I've yet to make that I want to make about the daddy transition, and then we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
Which is, I have befriended a fair amount of people who are a little older,
Mm-hmm.
and they really give the daddy vibe, which I would like. You've had like a little body change.
Yes,
You
I've been
show your
at
body
it.
a
I'm going to the
different
gym right after
way.
this. Yeah.
You know, you wear your hat, the thing, you know, like you have this. It reads very queer, but
Uh-huh.
it is this like daddy energy, and I feel like I've befriended a lot of people who have that same type of energy, and then they post like, oh, throwback picture of me in 2010, and they're like full like gender fuck in heels, make up the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
I see it as like a queer sort of journey that happens,
Yeah.
and what I'm wrestling in my head is like it's not it's not like a a shunning of that previous identity. It's just like an evolution.
It's
And
an
it doesn't mean
evolution.
that even if your dreams are cup of coffee, get the morning paper,
Yeah.
it doesn't make you any less queer
Not
than
at
it
all.
was when you were
Yes.
I just
being
feel like
more.
I did it already. Like I look at Bad
Right.
Bunny, you know, people are like, "Oh my god, the parece a Bad Bunny. You look like Bad Bunny." Da-da-da. Like if I have my piercings in,
Sure.
I get it a little bit more,
Okay.
and my curls are out. But I'm like, I already did everything that he's
Yeah,
doing. I'm like,
everything-
all of my queer friends were doing that in the early 2000s. Like we all dress like that. I'm like not impressed by it.
Well, and I'll tell you something else bad about him. I went and saw that Bullet Train thing last night.
How
And
was
he's
it?
in it. He has like 3 lines. I
Shut
think that they were like,
up.
let's give him no words.
Shut up.
yeah,
He's
all
like,
of his acting is like silent, and it's like he's
Is
like
he just eating carrots.
no, it's like flashbacks to like stuff.
well, he has a
but, like,
heavy accent. Like I
well,
think
he spoke like twice, and there was an accent.
Yeah.
but like the rest of the movie, he's in it.
Yeah.
He's just asleep.
No
whole
shade, by
time.
the way. Everybody in my entire family has a heavy accent. It's just like I understand how if you ask me to speak in Spanish, I'm like I can get so far, and then I'm like, huh, wait.
No, I think that they did it because they were like, maybe not a strong actor. but, like, we love the body.
But he'll
He's
bring.
pretty.
yeah, he's gorgeous.
He is gorgeous. He's also like 6 foot something. He's so handsome. You're like,
All right, we gotta take a break.
Do we?
did you make your point?
Yeah.
I guess not. Well,
No, his point was that
I
there's
was
an
saying that
evolution
it-
from being a little faggy to being a daddy, but you're still a gay fag queer.
yes,
Your past, time is a
your
flat
past, your
cir-
present, and
time
your
is a flat
future.
circle, so you are still 20, but also 50.
Right.
Yeah.
And just because you don't present yourself a certain way to the world, it doesn't negate your queerness. That was my
Absolutely.
point.
Yeah.
So
So let's take a break. We are back.
and we're back.
Do you like musical theater?
Oh, I literally this morning was talking to my best friend Maya about musical theater, and I was like, I wish that I didn't get shamed out of liking a lot of things as a kid, but
Oh.
like when you have like hood ass family, or you have like an older cousin or siblings that are a little bit more hood, they'll be like, you like some corny ass shit, you like that musical shit, you like Sailor Moon, you like Pokemon, and I'm like, no, I don't fucking like that shit. But
Yes.
low key, you're like, I fucking love Sailor Moon, I love anime.
Yeah.
So I don't know enough about it. So I grew up thinking it was kind of. No, I thought it was corny, not even gay. I was just like, it's kind of corny.
Just corny.
Yeah,
but-
well, I hate musical theater.
Yeah, you thought it was horny.
I thought it was corny. I hate it.
I hate
would
it.
never. Stupid. Fuck that.
Now as an
All right,
adult,
I
I
guess-
have.
What
Scroll,
even is-
scroll,
what
scroll
even
on
is
down.
Wicked?
Wait, I do have an
Yes,
appreciation for it though. Like Maya will sit me down and make me watch. She made me watch Legally Blonde, the musical, the other day, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, did you watch the
Okay.
Laura Bell Bundy, the one they did for MTV?
Oh yes, I saw
Yes.
that one.
Okay,
I
that one's
loved
a pretty
it.
good one.
It
That's a
was
pretty
so
good one.
good.
It's,
Wait.
she's better on the cast recording than she is in that recording.
Oh, okay. But I don't know the difference. So what I saw, I enjoyed, and I genuinely liked it.
Have you seen Wicked?
She said, "Oh my
I
god."
have seen Wicked. I saw Wicked
Ah.
years ago.
Ah.
Y me gustó. I liked it. But then when I watched it again recently, I was like, oh, it doesn't have the same kind of like punch.
And I had the same notes. I just watched it again in New York, like what?
You went on
a
Broadway.
couple
You saw it on
months
Broadway.
ago,
Yeah.
and it was not the same as when I first saw it. I was like, the magic is gone.
You said something has.
changed within me, and
Yeah.
it was my like for that play.
Look, I can try to sing for that. I will sing that the whole soundtrack with you. I love it. So
Oh,
yeah,
thank
I
you so
kind of do.
much.
Maya and I
Yay!
try to hit the harmonies of For Good
Yes.
at the end. Like,
Oh, are you a singer?
Another thing that I used to sing when I was younger, and then they would be like, "Oh my god, like it's so corny to sing," and so I'm like, "Girl, I gotta like not."
Not It's So Corny to Sing when
They really
American
tried
Idol
to
was right
bring you
around the corner.
down.
No, well, because when I was younger, I could sing loud. I could hit my runs, and I could hit I could go really
It's
loud.
still in you.
So people would always be like, "Shut up." We lived in an apartment building. The neighbors would be like, "Shut up," and I would be singing my go-to, which is kind of another musical, I guess, the Sister Act. So I was like, anything Whoopi sang, I was like, that's in my
You
range. I
said
could do
la
it.
la la
La
la
la.
la
Perfect.
la 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 la.
La 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 la.
But y'all are into musical theater, it seems.
Well-
Well, yeah, I love Wicked, and I was gonna ask you if you had ever seen Wicked.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like so many of those songs, like, don't they have like more meaning? Like, For Good has so much meaning. Like, it's just so deep and like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When you watch it, when you listen to it, so I fell in love with Wicked because I listened to the soundtrack first.
Same.
Wow, really went dark there. I listened to the soundtrack first and was like super into it, and then when I went and saw the musical, I was like, oh, it's different than I imagined, but it's still
Uh-huh.
good. And then when I saw it again, I was like, this is bad.
it's not. It doesn't
It's
just doesn't
not
have
good.
shake thing in
Would
there.
you what?
No, it's had an evolution.
It has.
Maybe we stop talking about it on the pod.
I think so.
Exclusive. You
But
heard it
I
here
think
first.
I'm done. Thank you, Curly, for really settling this for us. We're not talking about Wicked
We're done.
anymore.
We bring it up every single
But you're a
episode.
musical person. You also have your hits and your
My-
music as well.
Yes,
My
his hits
hits?
April Showers, where he starts singing in patois.
My hits, sure.
Why
A decade
not?
ago. Yeah, no, I'm a very musical person, and I
love
loved
that.
I came up with, doing musical theater and
I have a question for you that's not
course.
musically related.
Okay.
Do you feel like an industry person in LA? Because, I mean, you started out working for David LaChapelle, so I'm sure you
Mhm.
worked with a lot of stars.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of them still remember you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you did BuzzFeed, and then you've worked your way, you're like on television, you're writing.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you're like
No,
LA?
I don't.
Really?
I know. I mean, because at the end of the day, I go home and I call my family. I'm hanging out with an old lady who has dementia. I also don't care. I'm not a clout chaser. I don't care. I can meet
Mm.
somebody who's an executive at a place, and if I'm not, like, I'm mesmerized looking at you both, right? Like, I'm looking
it's
at
the
your
hair.
reactions. I'm looking at your eyes. How like you hesitate with the blink, like you're thinking about something, like
What do you-
Oh, yeah.
like your eyes. See, like
she's,
you're not.
she's
You're like,
yeah, she withholds
Well,
a
sometimes
lot.
I keep them real wide so I can actually see. Because if I don't, I look like this.
I'm more
Sleep.
So I'm more about like energy. I
Mhm.
think one of the beautiful lessons that David gave me was like work with people who inspire you. That's it. And so I don't consider myself an industry person because I'm mostly hanging out with people who inspire me. I'm not like, what do you do? What do you do? Like,
Isn't that the first question everybody asks? And I find myself asking that same question
yeah.
when I meet people in LA. Is like, what do you do? And I realize it's because I don't really have a social life.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
the only time I interact with other people is when I'm working.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, am I going to interact with you? What do you do? Like, and if
Yeah.
they were like, oh, I own a restaurant, I'm like, cool. What's it called? Maybe I'll come there, but I'm not like continuing the conversation. And that feels very like superficial, but
Yeah.
I've adopted that since I got to town.
Yeah,
It's so
I mean,
weird.
you know when people talk about like the fake LA thing, it's mostly people who aren't from LA.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
people who are from LA, we're not really talking about those things. Like, if we were to go out to lunch right now, I don't think that we would be talking about career. I'd be like, tell me about your partner. Tell me about your dreams and your
Yeah.
hopes. Like, what are those things? Like, where's your family? Do you miss your family? Like, that's how me and all my friends in LA talk.
Mm.
We don't give a. I'm kind of look. I don't maybe because we're jaded, but we would go to the mall and we would see big celebrities next to
Right.
us.
Yes.
Like, we would go to Universal Studios for fun. Like, to this day, if you take me to a national park and you show me nature, I'm like, they got this at Universal. Why am I 4 hours out? Like,
Yeah, right under the giant minion.
Exactly. I'm a city boy through and through. But no, I don't think I consider myself an industry person.
I feel that too. I hate when people ask me what I do,
Mhm.
especially if like
Because
I've
you're
never met-
embarrassed. Because you're ashamed.
Because then I feel like I end up hijacking the conversation because then it turns into like, oh, I'm a drag queen, and then it turns into like a big thing about
Right. They all want to know.
drag and like
why
what
you
is
don't
it?
wear
Why aren't you doing?
nails.
Yeah, well, I brought the glue, left the nails at home.
I love it. I love it.
You know what I mean?
So cute.
But like, it just feels like such an uncomfortable thing. And like you're saying, I'd rather be like, where are you from?
Yeah.
What brought you here?
Yeah.
Don't tell me it was the arts.
Absolutely. I mean, I do that now. Like, I'd much rather talk about other people than I would, and that's what I get paid for now is to interview people, is to like chat it up
Yes.
and to.
And you mentioned your friend Maya.
Maya, yeah, my
You
bestie.
have a
Maya
show
in the moment.
together?
Yeah. Oh my god, she
It's
literally.
called the Super Secret Bestie Show.
Yes,
Show.
Super Secret Bestie Club.
Club. Oh, that's a typo. on my
Wow,
part. Sorry.
someone's getting fired.
that's me. I'll
Somebody's
fix it
getting
right
fired. No,
now.
literally
Oh,
on the way
God.
here. She was like, "Don't forget to talk about our podcast." I'm like, "You're so right."
Well, we're
I
talking
won't."
about it. Audible,
I love
right?
it.
Who makes it?
iHeart, Sonoros.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we have, it's basically Maya and I talk to each other 3 times a day, mostly. And we have like conversations. We
See?
giggle.
Don't yell at me when
No.
I call you on the phone.
How many phone calls can you take from a single person in a day besides Maya?
Besides Maya, 0. Like, text me. Don't call me.
She calls me 3 to 4 times a day,
Just to
and
check
sometimes
in.
it's about nothing.
Yeah, that's literally, it's about nothing. Like, hey, how are you feeling?
But
What are
it's
you doing?
But here's the thing: sometimes they're important calls, so I always answer.
Uh-huh.
So I
The
get
secret to my
trapped in talking
madness,
to
baby.
Yes.
Like, I know it's important if I hear like a keyboard clacking, but if I hear like a window roll up, I'm like, he's in the car, he's just bored.
Yes.
Get me out of here.
But do you not enjoy the conversation?
No.
No, it's usually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's usually okay because we'll go back and forth, but it becomes a conversation where we just start talking shit about other people.
But that's what we started recording it. We were literally like, why aren't we talking about these things? We will have like conversations where we're talking shit, where we're giggling, where we're doing impressions about something that we've seen on TV, or we'll come up with entirely new things. So, for example, I'm a troll. I won't talk shit, but I'm a troll. Like the other day, she
Same.
laughed. ¿Cómo se llaman? Oh my god, they're not called. Oh, a hair claw. A hair claw.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
hair-
like
yes.
banana clip.
Yes, I guess, yes, exactly. She left her sunglasses and a little clip next to me in like my little soda thing in my car.
Yeah.
And so I go, she sits in the back, so another friend sat here, and I go, oh, here are your pieces of plastic. And I took it as like just a little joke, but she kind of got like a little hurt by it. And
Ah.
so we had a whole conversation later on, and she was like, usually I wouldn't be bothered. I understand it's a joke, but today I'm feeling like a little squishy, like I'm feeling a little soft. And so we coined this thing together called squishy vibes, where sometimes we're just like, you know
Oh.
what? I love you, but I'm a little like squishy vibes today. So can we be tender with one another?
That's really sweet.
That's really
Yeah, so we'll talk
Sweet.
about it on the podcast. We'll give it to other people where we're like, if you and your friend are used to talking shit and you guys are being playful, but today's just not a good day, but you would still like to talk, like just squishy vibes. You know?
It is.
We
That
have
is
a similar thing. We
What?
say, "Are you ready for notes? Like, are you ready to take?"
Oh yeah, because because we both independently make art, and then we have this relationship, and we like drag each other
Yeah.
on the podcast for entertainment.
But we know when it's time.
It needs to be serious. Like, hey, I think you would actually succeed more if you
Yeah.
did it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes
And I'm
it's
not
hard
being
to hear.
rude. Yeah,
It is
Yeah.
hard to hear. Do you have space? We ask each other, do you have space?
Do you have
Da-da-da-da.
space?
that's really good.
Mine's also an Aries too.
Because it also, for me, for my own ego, with a friend that I can be that way with,
Mhm.
when they say something and then it makes me feel bad,
Yeah.
I then go like, oh, so you can't take a joke? Like, I then get on myself about it because I'm like,
Oh.
I get even more down the rabbit hole about
Yeah.
it. So it is such a powerful tool to be like, just not
Absolutely.
today.
I mean, look, the learning lesson for me is like, everybody's a lot more sensitive than they say that they are.
Yeah.
Everyone's
True.
like, I can take a joke. I have not met a single person who like doesn't get a little bit of like like that kind of stung a little bit. I don't
Mhm.
care. Like, and people are like, especially I do feel like in my community, people are like, oh, you gotta have a thick skin and you gotta do. I'm like, yeah, have a thick skin, but at the same time, like, if I'm talking to my mom and she's out here being like, your teeth are so blah, blah, I'm like, mom.
Sorry,
like,
what notes could she have on
Well,
your
yeah,
teeth?
your teeth are
You have
perfect.
perfect teeth.
my teeth are usually like super like mega white, and when I went sober, I started drinking more coffee. So she's like, "You have a little bit of a tint on your teeth." I'm like, "Ah!" So I
Not
have
that
to-
being the drag. They used to be 110. Now they're 100.
Oh my god. Does that hurt when you get your teeth whitened? That's my
It
biggest
hurt me.
fear.
It does hurt a little bit, yeah. But I mean, Latin moms are notorious. I don't know how. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't.
Well, I have
Are
an
all moms-
overbearing white mom.
Are all moms like that?
No, I've seen friends who have very good relationships with their very supportive mothers. So
That's so
I
funny.
don't think that all moms are like that.
My
no.
mom has given me many complexes. Like,
Really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, if you smell a little damp, like I will scrub
so
the
crazy to
shit
me.
out of my neck or like behind my ears because my mom would like teach me that as like a kid. Like anything that's just a little off, I'll brush the shit out of my teeth. Like
Mm.
very. you
Isn't it
know.
amazing the stuff
Those
that
aren't bad complexes
No.
to have at the end of the day.
I
though.
the stuff that we used to like hate, like I used to really avoid brushing my teeth when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Now I love brushing
Yeah,
my teeth.
same.
I
Since
do
I'm
too
like-
with my Quip toothbrush.
That's right. Quip.
Quip toothbrush.
Toothbrush.
It's every 30 seconds it vibrates to let you know to go to a different quadrant of your mouth.
Oh my
Do
god, I
you-
love that. Where do you get those?
Yeah.
Like, just
They
like,
sell them at Target now.
Okay.
They are
Yeah.
like super everywhere.
They just help you brush for
2 minutes.
for the full.
It literally
length.
just is like it's not like a vibrating toothbrush where it's like doing anything to help you brush.
It's a time.
It's just a
Oh.
timer being like,
oh, I would
hey,
like both.
move.
Yeah, I would like both as well.
Yeah.
Wait, can I ask y'all questions? Are y'all seeing anybody right now?
I have a boyfriend.
How long have you been
Wait,
together
what is
for?
this? About 5 years.
Nice. What
Wait,
about you?
How long?
No.
5?
You're single?
Yeah.
How old are you both?
37.
Okay, nice.
30 what? Say the rest of it.
1,
3.
32.
Nice. How long? So
No,
5
you're
years?
older than that.
No, I'm 32.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so you've been with your partner for 5 years?
Yeah, something like that.
What is their sign?
I don't
When's
know.
his
Their
birthday?
February 13th.
So an Aquarius.
12,
Aquarius and
February 12th.
Aquarius and a Cancer.
Yeah.
Nice. That works. They're a little bit more colder with their emotions than Cancers are, I feel. They're a little bit more like flighty with that stuff.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit.
What do you think the secret is to a 5-year relationship?
Just like not caring about anything.
Not
I think
You mean like the little stuff?
yeah, like the little things like cannot bother you. We like truly just don't get like if we get into an argument about something that's really dumb,
Uh-huh.
we're able to like just be like, well, that was stupid, and then just move on. and,
Who's like
it
the
doesn't-
cleaner one out of both of you?
In which sense?
Like who's the more organized? Who's the more like in the
He's more
home?
organized. I'm cleaner.
How about whole?
Whose hole is cleaner?
Yeah, who
Mine,
keeps a
mine.
cleaner hole?
Mine's a cleaner hole.
So like when you don't like for me for example when I date somebody I love to make sure that the home is organized, that things are clean, that things are like folded properly. It's my Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a full like Virgo Scorpio basically. But somebody might be like it's the little things, but for me shoes in the middle of the hallway. It's shoes in the middle of the hallway.
Oh, no,
Well-
that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But I will, like, if they seem like they're in my way, whether they're mine or his, I'll pick them up and move them.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so you're like a
Where
patient.
he'll just leave them anywhere.
So then you're like the me probably. But also cancers have like insane amounts of patience.
I absolutely do not have any.
Really?
Yeah,
patience
no,
for anybody.
none-
No,
no
but I also
patience.
have really bad ADHD,
Uh-huh.
which to me, it's like if I'm watching someone do something slowly, I'm like, okay, well, I could do that 10 times faster.
I think I have ADHD too, by the way, which is why I'm like always like in conversation.
Well, that's why I can't keep one sentence straight. You know what I mean? I never know where I'm going.
Mhm. Why do you think you're single?
Because I
Oh.
want to be.
Because he wants to be.
That's
He
a good
can't do
answer.
monogamy, and every relationship he's tried to have recently
They
in the
just
last
wanna,
4 or
like,
5
lock it
years, they want to lock
down.
it down and monogamy.
I was just talking to Ryan Walker Page about this on the phone
Love
last
Ryan
night.
Walker
He wants to come
Page.
back on the pod.
Well, he's gonna have to do it shirtless.
He was asking me, and I said, I think it's a combination of two things. I think I have too many things in my life that are hurdles to making space for a person,
Yes.
and then I think
Oh.
I'm purposely putting those hurdles. So I think it's twofold. One is I'm uninterested in having a relationship right now, so I definitely don't mind having the hurdles. But I also think somewhere in my subconscious, I continue to put hurdles in front of me in order to avoid having a relationship.
Wow, that's such a real answer.
He really
Yeah.
does. He really does. You put too much on your plate and you stretch yourself very thin.
Like I was
So
thinking
there's
last
literally
night.
no time. That's why I'm shocked sometimes when you're like, I had sex this week, and I'm like,
when
when was
When?
there time?
But I like last night. It was like 8:00, and I was like, "Well, I have 3 hours of work to do on a deadline for midnight."
I know, and it's like, quit texting me about it.
It
Do you
just-
mean hurdles as in like work, or you mean
Yeah, I
hurdles as in
It's
literally
only
like?
work.
put
It's
stuff in
all,
front
all
of-
he does is work and
Okay.
work out,
Uh-huh.
And my deadlines,
and then sometimes does shows.
and my deadlines are always like in the nighttime. So I like couldn't. If someone's like, "Let's have dinner," it's like, "Well, I can't do that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday."
Do you think it's the emotional aspect that scares you?
I don't think it scares me. I just
Uh-huh.
think it's the relationships I've had. It feels like work. Like
It's
it
a
feels like
lot
it
of
takes
wo- oh, that-
away
It's
from
a lot
me.
of work.
And so
Absolutely.
I feel too selfish.
Not
I feel too
Speak on
selfish to make space currently.
Yeah.
Like I'm focused on getting my shit together. My shit
Absolutely.
is not together. So I'm like,
Mhm.
wait, you want me to split my energy to give to another person?
Yeah.
I need to focus on me right now.
Yeah. I mean, look, relationships are a lot of work, and that's where
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think I'm. I mean, I'm seeing somebody right now, but I think a lot of the things that I go through is like, I'm doing a lot of
8.
eight.
8 times.
Eight times?
It's sex 8 times
At this
instead
point,
of 7.
probably.
How long have you been seeing this person?
We've been seeing each other for like not that long, like 3-4 months. Like
Okay,
not,
so it's
yeah.
young, it's fresh.
It's very young, but it is already a lot of work. Like we have a lot of different
Do you
things
let
that we're
them walk
bringing to
your
the
dog?
table. No, I don't
Do
let
they come
anybody walk
over?
my dog. Yeah, they come over. No, my dogs are like
Shoes in the house?
no, I have wooden floor. I have wooden floors, so you can wear shoes in the house.
Okay.
How
Sock-
often were you mopping?
I have somebody that comes in like bi-weekly who mops.
Bi-weekly!
Not do we mean bi-weekly twice a
sorry,
week or once
No,
every other week?
bi-weekly means twice a month.
Twice a month. Yeah.
No, look it up.
Felching.
Felching.
Wait, let me ask you, because I made this mistake, and then we have to take a
I
break.
can't believe you're about to ask Curly about felching.
Felching.
I don't know what belching is.
And there you have it.
We'll be right back. Okay, we are back.
And we're back.
I didn't look it up. Let me look it up.
Bi-weekly? I just looked it up the other day because someone said that to me.
Do you know what your moon is, by the way?
I have a full printout. Someone did they had to look up my time of birth. Like I have a full chart.
You don't know where your moon is though?
No.
In
I'm not
LA,
really
the new
super
thing is like
into-
It means both,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
just like bisexual.
belching means both.
No,
No.
bi-weekly.
Oh,
Bi-weekly means twice a week
No, felching is
or
when someone
every 2 weeks.
it means both. Just like syllabuses or syllabi.
Oh,
can say both.
Psilocybin.
Uh-huh.
Felching
was a
is
Kim-
when you
Someone shoots a load up your hole and then
no
felching is the act of eating the cum out of someone's butt.
So when somebody, oh, okay. So
and I thought felching was pushing the cum out of your butt onto someone's tongue.
It's the act
because
of
it's like
eating.
belching, but like farting. So like belching.
Yes, but the felching is the
Huh.
eating, not
I
the
never thought
pushing.
of it that way.
That's why I thought, because farting comes out of your butt, and I thought felching comes out of your butt.
Belching.
That's gross.
All right, we've reached our last segment, in which we
Oh,
call
I'm having so much fun with you.
Fuck talk! Where
Fuck talk?
you
Yeah.
and us share an interesting or funny sexual experience that we've had in the past.
Oh my god, I love this. It actually has to do with somebody who didn't wear deodorant.
Okay, work.
He was.
If you were in my pits, you would be like, "That's fine."
That's
I'm
fine.
just
This is
letting you
okay. Do we just tell the story?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
I mean, he was a tall. He
Drink
was
of water.
a man, right?
Oof.
And I was like, yeah, this is cute. Like he came over. I think I picked him up at the bus stop or something because he like took the bus here, which should.
Oh, you made plans ahead of time. You don't
Yeah.
mean you like picked him up?
No,
in
I didn't
real
pick him up.
life.
We plans ahead of time. Remember, I'm kind of like a good boy. Like
Yes.
that's why I had to drink to kind of like do anything because I was like, I'm such a boring good boy.
That's the same for me.
Yeah. So he came over and he was like a little ripe. And he was just like, get in here. And I'm like, I don't want to get in there. I'm good. He's like, get in here. And I remember I eventually did get in there. It was like not the best time for me. I'm really sensitive to like BO. And he was like, go down there. I'm like, I don't if this smells like this, I'm not trying to go down there. So I go, how vulgar can I get, by the way?
Very.
The most. She's
Okay,
thrown
awesome.
up.
We literally had a fisting special.
Oh, amazing. So I go down there, I thought it was this. It's this.
Fisting?
Yeah.
I think it begins like this.
Oh yeah.
and
See, I
then
don't even know.
it gets to
You're
the-
right.
Yeah, but the people, the person we had on the show, it's
It
all
was like
of that. It could
literally
be
at one
everything.
point we were like,
It was
two lines
two.
in.
It was open.
And then we
It was
played.
the inside out.
We played rock paper scissors where the person had to do like scissors, rock, or paper inside of him, and then we had to guess. Anyway. what
Oh, you were
happened?
there.
We did it on Zoom.
We did it on a Zoom.
He was in a sling in Fort Lauderdale.
I love this so much. You guys just get better and better.
Okay, so you smelled his crotch.
So I
You
go
licked
down
his
there.
crotch.
No, so I go down there. He wants to like, he wants me to blow him basically. And I noticed that he has a piece of like paper towel, a large piece of paper towel, like folded inside of his foreskin. And I'm like, what that? Like, what is that? And he's like, oh, sorry. He pulls out this paper towel. He's like, I put it in there to keep it fresh.
I'm gonna look up something because Okay, keep
So
going.
I'm like, thank you for your consideration. And so he's like, so blow it. And I'm like, I'd rather
So blow it.
I do it anyways. We
Why?
end up like hooking up and he's like, do you mind if I shower here? I'm like, oh, like my shower curtain just fell. It gets wet all over. Like I'd maybe prefer if you did. He's like, I'm in the shower. So he goes
my
to
God.
shower. my entire like bathroom gets super wet. 'Cause it's one of those like what are they called? Like the shower heads that is like it's wild.
Oh
My
no.
bathroom's wet. He's stinky. There's paper towel on my floor now. He decides he's like, "Oh, do you have any towels?" I'm like 25 years old, newly moved into my place. I'm like, I actually only
You
have
have the one.
The
my
one.
one towel.
Don't tell your mom.
I know, right? And I'm like, I don't have any towels. Like, it's fine. He goes into my living room. He turns on my fan and he starts spinning in my living room.
Oh my
this
god, this
person?
is insane.
By the way, this man is older than I am now. I think he was in his 40s, and he's spinning in my living room. And
This
he's
is an unhinged 40-year-old.
he's like, okay, well, I guess it's time to go home. He's like, do you mind dropping me back off at the bus stop? And I'm like, I thought but he did not look like this. He looked like a well put together 45-year-old, I'm gonna say, man at the time. And I
Who
was
could
just
read a
like,
room, maybe.
who could read a room exactly, and just take that paper towel out before you get to the
before
house.
you get there.
Yeah, thank you for the consideration.
Maybe while you're sitting at the bus stop, you're like, oh yeah, that paper in my foreskin. Let me grab that.
Did you come?
I don't remember if I came, to be honest. I don't.
That might be one of those memories that you try to block out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also takes me forever to come, so I'm one of those that it's like if we're gonna get there.
What gets you there?
I have to a little bit of role play will get me there. Yeah.
Like put a wig on it, kind of?
No. Like a little bit of like, oh, like you're the gardener and I'm like the man of the house, or I'm the gardener.
Oh,
and you're
so
the
you
man
would
of the
really love a
house.
Bucci cat moment. You want someone to come strolling by, maybe garden for you a little bit with ass out.
Uh-huh.
It's
What is that called?
It's like,
Bucci?
come here.
A Bucci
Bucci
moment?
cat. A Bucci cat moment.
A Bucci cat moment.
Just
No,
when you see
it's
someone on
not-
the street and then you want to fuck their
Meatball
whole-
is trying to explain it as if it's slang that people use.
slang on our pod. Oh, this is so
Y'all
funny.
are the best.
He's literally like, what is happening?
I'm just mesmerized by you both. But wait, are y'all gonna share your sex stories today?
Oh,
or
yeah,
what?
yeah. Dipper's
Well,
got
what I
one.
was gonna say,
Dippers always go.
what I was gonna say is, you were talking about that piece of paper towel. I recently came across, there's all different types of cock rings, and I
Yeah.
was looking to buy one just for the head of my
Uh-huh,
dick, like
uh-huh.
because
Moves the mic away.
because there's cock rings that are dick and balls, just shaft, twist, whatever.
Yes.
And then I have seen some that are
Didn't know that.
just under the head.
What does that do? Just keep the
But
head
yeah,
hard?
just keep the head rock
Yeah,
hard.
but it's kind of like it's just like
Wouldn't the tip turn purple eventually?
Yeah.
It's just like it's pretty.
So you were looking for jewelry.
Yeah, I was looking for dick jewelry, and
May I suggest a James Avery sterling silver with a
came-
cross on it?
I came across the comfort ring. It's a cotton fabric that absorbs body moisture, and you wear it right behind the glands to keep your foreskin off of the glands. And it's literally a product that exists that is like cotton, and you wear it there, and it like prevents smell and stick and
Wow.
infection.
That picture doesn't make
Comfort
it seem
ring.
appetizing.
How
though.
small is it though? Or how big is that thing? Like,
Easy to
maybe it
use,
comes in
simple to
different
put on and
sizes.
clean.
I mean, look, I have been with a lot of men who are uncircumcised, and fuck it, so am I. And a lot of people don't have that problem.
Well, yeah,
I-
because a
yeah,
lot of
well,
people know how to clean themselves.
Yeah, a lot of people take showers and clean themselves properly and pull the skin back.
Yeah.
Some people weren't taught that as a child. What's your fuck talk story?
Yeah.
I was thinking about buying this.
But what happened? Like, have you had any experience with that?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Gross
mean,
foreskin? Yeah.
Gross foreskin for sure.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think of a specific one. I was so excited to share the comfort ring with both of you that I haven't.
And it really did. It was a flop over here.
It really was
comfort
a flop.
ring.
No one cares
But
about the
honestly,
comfort
like,
ring.
I'm like, oh, I want to look a comfort ring up because I mean,
Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
a
have
little
that
curious
experience.
about
I'm
it.
circumcised.
Yeah, same. So I wouldn't do anything for me.
do you guys ever wish that you weren't circumcised?
Yes, all the
Yes.
time. I really wish
Every
I
time I
wasn't.
have an uncut dick in my mouth, I'm like,
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, this is way better.
Why is it better?
Because it's like natural.
There's,
I feel
like,
like there's like
a funness to it.
yeah, there's something else to
Really?
play with.
And every single person has said there's.
yeah,
well, I
they
guess
say
how
that
would
the
you
sensitivity
know?
is more.
Oh, yeah,
But then
we're
again,
really
it's like unless
sensitive.
you were with and then without, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
We are super, super, super sensitive.
One time, and,
Like-
and it still takes a long time.
You guys have a meeting?
You and
Pardon?
the uncircumcised people.
You said we are.
Yeah. What do you mean?
You guys have
Oh,
like a monthly meeting?
All of mostly like most of my boyfriends have been men of color, and so like a lot of them are uncircumcised, and you just like lick your little finger and you just like play with
Yeah,
the
see,
head, and
that's
they're like,
fun.
Yeah,
It's
this
like
is
a-
what we need.
This is what we want.
Yeah.
But we don't get
This
that.
is what we want to feel.
Yeah!
This is what we want
wanna
to feel.
That reminds me of one time when I was living
There
in the
we
greatest
go.
city
Yes.
in America,
New York?
New York City.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I was living on the Lower East Side, and I found a man because I was definitely all I wanted to do was suck a dick with foreskin.
Uh-huh.
So I like made that very specific in the Craigslist ad, and he was like, "I have a big old foreskin. It's long. It hangs. Come suck it." And I was like, "Great, let's do this."
Uh-huh.
So then I don't know what it is, but I think that when you like made plans on Craigslist, they thought that there would be like a longer commute time or something.
Uh-huh.
So I get to his place before he's there, and he walks up, and he had just come from the gym.
Uh-huh.
And he was like really stinky, and it just smelled down there. But he literally didn't ask me if he should take a shower. He literally just like went, took his pants out, and sat in a chair and was like,
Maybe that was his kink. Maybe that's what he wanted.
well, and
Well,
it
I
was
feel
so
like that's-
stinky and bad that the whole time I was down there, I was like, oh, and like I was like, he was like, play with the foreskin, and I was like, I really don't want to see what's going on under there at this point, because it was like early in the morning. That means he probably didn't shower that morning, and then went to the gym, and then came back and was like, yeah.
Yeah, some people like that shit though.
I remember the
I mean, but
first time.
it's being played. Like in my mind, I feel like everyone should be at least showered within the last 2 hours.
Before sex?
Before sex.
Unless
agree. I
unless
agree.
you've previously communicated about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would say the first time I remember sucking a dick that had like an excessive amount of foreskin, the guy was like, chew on it. Like,
Yes, he did
pull on it, chew on it. You can get rough with it. That's when I first learned the trick of like sticking my tongue
that. In it?
in the
Inside,
foreskin,
yeah.
and then you can like see the
Yeah.
tongue. Yeah,
like
exactly.
a little balloon.
Stretching it out, blowing it up, making that sound.
Remember when I did shots out of those guys' foreskin?
Yes.
You ever done that?
No, never.
And
I'm
then
uh-huh.
the next time I sucked a dick that had a bunch of foreskin, I was like, well, it's time to chew. And the guy was like, fuck you. Like
Uh-huh.
shoved me off of him because it was like, oh, that's a thing you should check in
Yeah,
with
you
the
should ask
person
about nibbling.
It's really sensitive, really sensitive.
Yeah.
Which is fun. But I also do wonder, I think we all want to know, like, what's it like on the other side of this fence? Like, what does that
Mhm.
feel like to just be
Mhm.
like chilling all day long? Because it is an extra step. It is the step of like making sure you're good. And I'm super big. If we're going to hook up, it's the same. It's what you just said about
Yeah,
the
be
2 hours
fresh.
thing.
Yeah.
Be fresh. I don't want to be known as like like, oh, I fucking sucked this dick and then fucking like, I don't want.
because then we'll talk about him.
That's
here.
why I'm always
Exactly.
amazed when people are like, yeah, I've been out all day. I have this. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm ready. Come over. Fuck me.
I'm like, you're not ready.
when did you
What
You're
about
not
hairy
ready.
booties?
love him?
Love them? Can't get enough of
Uh-huh.
'em.
Wait, but how about? Well,
I'm
I have a
not
hair,
a
I have a
fan.
hairy booty. No, I have a
Yeah.
hairy
Oh,
booty.
good
So that's
for
why I'm
you.
always like. But what is like the? I also feel like you have to make sure that has to be clean.
Oh, it
as
has to
well.
be
Yes,
extra
it has to be
extra
clean, but
clean.
you don't have to like warn people about it.
What do you mean? Like, oh, I have a hairy booty.
Yeah. Oh, FYI, I have a hairy booty. No, that's good.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Yeah, but extra clean. I think it's also easier with a hairy booty if you have a bidet.
A
Ooh,
bidet. Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure. I literally will pop into the shower, and I'm known
Oh,
for
yeah.
like hopping on top of people's sinks too, which is they're like,
Ooh!
you sat on my sink. I'm like, I absolutely sat on your sink.
Yeah, it's not like it's gonna break.
I had to clean out my hairy booty.
My hairy booty.
Well, listen, we made it to the end of the episode.
I love it so much.
Oh,
There's
We're
a
already
great sink you
done.
can hop on in the
If
bathroom
it's sturdy, I
here.
will.
It might not be sturdy. Your podcast. Where can
Yes.
people find that?
People can find us on anywhere that you can listen to any podcast. You can find the super secret bestie club. It's me and my bestie just sharing best friend advice and just shooting the shit together.
I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're a
Any-
light listen.
a light listen.
Yeah.
When you're doing things at home.
We're just doing it around and you want to have a little giggle. And it's usually me talking about buttholes and her being like, Curly. And then it's like,
I love that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we
cute.
love
It's
that.
really cute.
Anything else people should look out for?
I mean, hit me up. Find me on TikTok. Find me on Instagram.
Hit me up.
The Curly V Show.
Okay.
V as in Velasquez. Wait, is that like older slang? I guess the other day I said fat. Oh, that's a fat beat. And they were like,
Fat.
fat as in PH? I'm like, yes.
Girl,
Oh, wait, do we not say fat anymore?
No, I would have slapped someone in the face.
Oh no.
We can say fat all we want.
As a person of fat experience.
Yeah, PHAT. Okay, well, thank you for being
Thank you
with
so
us.
much.
Thank you both for having me. This
You're
has
so
been so much
fun.
fun. Y'all are so amazing and so good energy, and I love it. So thank you for
When
having
you start
me.
coming out again, you should come to my party, Fat Slut.
I
We
would
have a
love to come
wonderful
visit you.
time.
Yeah, where's Fat Slut at?
It's a precinct, in downtown.
Okay, nice. I mean, they have an outdoor space.
They do.
Yeah, and
The
I'll just wear
show
long
is
sleeves and a
inside, though.
turtleneck.
Yeah. Or you could just stand in the DJ booth.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's where I put most
When I
people.
showed up last time, I was
Yeah.
long sleeves.
Long sleeve
leggings.
standing in the DJ booth with a mask on. I was like, well, at least no one's going to touch you.
I had a great time.
I love it. I'll be
Yeah.
there next to you then.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening to Sloppy Seconds with Big Dipper and Meatball. You can follow us on Sloppy Pod on Instagram. You can
That's
send
right.
us an email to sloppyseconds@gmail.com, or you can call in with your own fuck talk story to 213-536-9180. And you can follow us on Instagram at Big Dipper Jelly, Spiciest Meatball, or Fat Drag Meatball on Twitter, or Meatball the Drag Queen on TikTok. And don't forget to follow Mom Podcast everywhere, too. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't ever miss an episode, which come out every Tuesday and Friday. Goodbye. Doodle-doo-doo, Mom. To listen to Sloppy Seconds one day early, ad-free, and to watch our full video episodes, sign up for Mom Plus at mompodcasts.plus.
Sloppy Seconds is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom.
Hosted by Big Dipper and Meatball.
Editing and sound design by
William Pitts. Executive produced by Willem Belli, Alaska Thunderfuck, Big Dipper, and Joe Cilio.
Our artwork was drawn by Christian Cimarroni.
And our theme song was written by Mike Malarkey.